Hello, welcome. Let's try to solve another Leetcode problem 2671 frequency tracker. So for this problem, we are giving a frequency tracker class, and for the init, we're gonna init an array, and for the end, we're gonna add its number inside of the array. Yeah, we just need to add one number, and for the has frequency, we just need to check if if this number is inside our inside the frequency. So for example, if we have a frequency of 1 and if we have a number which has a frequency of 1, we're gonna put 1 inside. If another number maybe 2, the frequency is 3, so we put 3 inside. So for this has frequency, if it is 1, we just need to check if 1 is inside or not. Yeah. And add 1 and delete 1, that is just add one number and delete one number inside of the array. Yeah. But for this problem, of course, we cannot solve it by using the array, because for array, no matter if you do an add operation, you need to put it inside the array, and then you need to count the array to check the frequency. But we cannot solve it like that. So the better way is that we're gonna prepare two dictionary. So we're gonna prepare a counter. So it's gonna be the counter of the numbers. So once we add a number inside or delete one number inside, so we have this counter. So this is gonna be a counter, and it's gonna be counting the numbers. Another one, we're gonna prepare a self.f, that's gonna be the frequency counter. So we're gonna count frequency. So for example, if the frequency is 2, we're gonna count how many frequencies of 2. So for example, if we have a number like so if we have a number like 2 2 and 3 3 and 3, so for the counter array, so for this number 2, we have a counter of 2. For 3, we have a counter of 3. But for the frequency counter, so it means for the frequency of 2, we have a counter of 1, and for the frequency of 3, how many numbers it is 1. So this is why we're gonna use two counter to solve the problem, because for the frequency, for example, and this is the frequency. If we are going to check the frequency is 2, so 2 is inside because there is at least 1 2, so it's gonna be true. So if the frequency is 1, we're gonna check if 1 is inside. 1 is not inside, so we're gonna return a false. So this is why we're gonna prepare two counters. So one counter is for updating the numbers. Another counter is for updating the frequencies. Now we're gonna solve this add function. So add function is we just need to add a number inside of the counter and add a number inside of the and we're gonna update the frequency counter as well. So first of all, we're gonna check the frequency. So self.frequency with the self.counter with this number. So as we are going to add a so for the frequency, so the self.number gonna minus equal to 1, because after that we're gonna add this number. So self.counter with the number gonna plus equal to 1, and self.frequency with self.counter with this number gonna plus equal to 1. So this is for just adding a number. So if we are adding a number, we need to check the frequency of this number. So self.say with this number. So this is the frequency. And then as we are going to add this number, so the previous frequency gonna be decreased by 1, and the new frequency gonna be increased by 1, and the number counter would be plus equal to 1. I think that might be the difficult part of the problem. And we're gonna prepare another variable, maybe delta equals to 1, and we just need to use the value of delta, because Yeah, because for the next time, we're gonna use the we're gonna use the delete one. So for the delete one, actually we don't need to calculate once more. We just need to use the add with -1. So we need to check if self dot counter with the number is more than 0. So yeah, if the counter is more than 0, it means we can delete this number. Otherwise, if it is 0, how can we delete? According to the description, if it is if we don't have this number, of course we cannot delete. So we can use the self.add with the number, and we give a value as -1. So the delete one equals to add -1. Yeah. And finally, we just need to return the frequency, and frequency we just need to check if it is inside and if it is more than 0. It means at least we have this kind of frequency. Yeah. Now let me just run it. As you can see, it works. Now let me just submit it. As you can see, it works, and I think the speed is okay, because in Python, definitely while we are using a counter, it's going to be really slow. Instead of a counter, we're going to use maybe default dict with integer, and this is going to be a little bit faster. Let's just have a check. Yeah, as you can see, the default dict is much faster, and this is just the property of the Python. For analyzing the time complexity, it is okay, it is on time, but for the actual physical speed, actually the default dict, while they're writing this class, the default dict is much faster than the counter, because the counter is like a class. There are so many methods, so that is why it is so slow. But the default dict is like a method. That is why it is so fast. So for most of the time, we would rather use the default dict instead of using the counter. And for here, for this add operation, because we are going to add a new number, definitely we need to update this number. So, but for each of the time, we're gonna add by 1. So for this counter, with this number gonna plus equal to 1, because we added a new number. But for the frequency counter, before we add it, we need to update it. So how to update it? We need to update the previous value. So it's gonna be the self.frequency gonna be with this this counter, self.counter with this number. For example, the self.counter with this number maybe before it is 3. So for the self.frequency array, we need to minus with the frequency of this 3, and after that we're gonna plus 1. Maybe it is 4, and for the frequency of 4, we're gonna plus 1. I think there are so many Leetcode problem like this. Definitely this is gonna be the difficult part. And thank you for watching. See you next time.